Good morning. Happy Wednesday. Welcome back to Melanie Loves Death Metal. It is nice and early before work. I got my coffee with my banana mug. I am pretty exhausted this morning. Was up late last night, unfortunately, a little bit too late. Getting old. So as you guys know, last week was my birthday, and I got several vinyl for my birthday gift cards and stuff like that. My parents got me an Amazon gift card, and I used that, of course, to buy records. And I figured I'd show them off today because these are the only metal records that I got. The other stuff was some classic rock reissues, some jazz albums. But I figured, you know what? I'll talk about these today, and it's all thrash metal classics. So unfortunately, I sold pretty much like 90% of my collection, as you guys know, at the beginning of the year after I lost my job. And a lot of that included some gems, I would say. And these all recently just got reissued. There was one first pressing record that I had out of this stack that I ended up selling for a couple $100. It killed me a little bit inside. But the reason why I was okay with letting it go is because my family and my life is more important, but also because I knew that they had gotten reissued, and I'm not a person that only wants OG pressings or anything like that, and would have been fine with just a reissue. So yeah, let's go ahead and get started. So the first one is Testament, the Legacy. You guys obviously don't need to know anything about this. You know who Testament are, thrash metal from the U.S. This came out back in 1987. And this is by far one of my all-time favorite Testament albums and thrash metal albums, I would say. However, The New Order, their second full-length, is probably my favorite Testament album. And they reissued that with these, and that one is sold out everywhere. I can't find a copy of it. Blast Beat had it, it's sold out. Amazon doesn't have it anymore. Nuclear Blast doesn't have it anymore, and that's who reissued these, obviously. I can't find it anywhere. It's on Discogs for like $60, and I'm like, I just can't buy that for that cost when I got this for $25, and that's how much they pretty much are. So I'm on the hunt for that. So if anybody has a copy of it or knows of a store that has it or whatever, let me know, because I would love to buy it and have that, because I've honestly never owned that on vinyl before. I've only owned Testament on CDs. So I have first pressing CDs, but you know, these reissues, they looked cool. So I was like, you know what, I'm going to grab this one, at least while it's still available. So the only criticism I have of this is it's hard to tell on the camera, but if you own it, you'll see it in person. I'll be curious to know if anybody else noticed this after getting this reissue, is that the cover art is so incredibly pixelated and blurry. Like, it's not good quality. And I'm sure that has a lot to do with, like, the original image that they used. Just lost its quality when they blew it up like this. They probably took it from the CD or something. I don't know how they do that. And then same thing with the back of the jacket. The guys here are a little bit pixelated and blurry. So that's my only complaint. It looks pretty rough, I'm not going to lie. You don't notice it right away when you first see it, but when you're looking close up, you're like, damn, that's a pretty low res image that they probably used. But very minor detail, I guess you could say. Whatever, I have the music. So yeah, I'm assuming this is pretty true to the first issue, with the printed inner sheets right there. And then these are all colored copies that they reissued on. I don't know if they did black. Honestly, I didn't even see that as an option. So I got this colored one. It is limited to 2,000, which is a pretty high pressing run. So the New Order sold out pretty fast. So there's got to be some of them somewhere. My local shop may have it. I actually might venture out this weekend and see if I can find it. Because I know that they get a lot of Nuclear Blast reissues and stuff like that. Like, I was able to get some of the Hypocrisy ones from them. But yeah, it's this thing. I mean, it's pretty cool looking. It goes really well with the album cover. It's a very nice splatter. So yeah, I thought that looked pretty cool. Again, I would have been happy if it were just black. But yeah, pretty cool vinyl color there. It looks phenomenal. So yeah, The Legacy. Again, I don't think I need to talk about this album too much. I'm sure everybody knows, if you're watching this, about this album. Some people really, really dog on Testament in regards to the old school thrash metal bands. I don't have any qualms or issues with them. I don't really care much for their newer albums, to be honest with you. Their last album, Titans of Creation, I don't even think I've listened to it since it came out. I listened to it maybe once, and that was it. It wasn't bad by any means. It was just not something that I find myself listening to very often or ever. Brotherhood of the Snake is their one before that. I can't remember a single thing about that album, to be honest with you. Dark Roots of Earth is probably their newest record that I'm most familiar with. I actually really enjoyed that record. I still listen to it from time to time. If it comes on like a playlist or something like that, I'll listen to the songs. But I'm very much that person that much prefers their first 3 to 4 albums. Souls of Black is my other favorite Testament album. So, but yeah, I think a lot of people are around that vein, but still a great band nonetheless. Still one of the more iconic thrash metal bands. I think that I need to do like a discography dive. I feel like there's a couple of albums I definitely haven't heard, like Low. I don't know if I really fully know that album. I know that came out in the early 90s, but and then some of that mid 2000s stuff, like the Formation of Damnation. I can't remember the last time I listened to that album. So yeah, Testament. Okay, the next ones are 2 reissues. One of these I actually owned an original copy of, sold it for quite a bit of money, and I don't regret it whatsoever. And that is Demolition Hammer, Tortured Existence. So this is probably my favorite like death thrash band in regards to these albums. These 2 are just cream of the crop for me. Desert Island stuff. Out of all of like the thrashy style of metal, I would definitely probably pick these over most albums, with the exception of Ride the Lightning, because that's like just top tier for me as well. But so Century Media reissued these finally. The last time this got a vinyl pressing, I was looking to see when they last reissued this. I think it was 2015. So it's been a long time. So this one was pretty rough to get on wax, but I had the original Germany 1980 pressing from Century Media, just plain black. I found it in a record store in, where was it? It was either Connecticut or New York. I can't remember right now. I feel like it might have been Connecticut. Anyway, like about 12 years ago, it was just sitting in the shop. I think it was like $70, and I was like, yep, that's mine. And I sold it for a lot more than that. So this was the one that I sold. But again, I had to do it. It was a pretty desperate time in my life. I don't regret it whatsoever. And again, I knew that the reissues were coming out, or had already come out. I think these came out at the end of last year. So I knew that eventually I would get these. So yeah, just top tier stuff for me here. I absolutely love this album. Came out in like, what was it, 1990? And the band is from New York, if you're not familiar. Pretty underrated, if in my opinion. I think since these reissues have come out, and some of the stuff that they've been touring around, people have started to pick up on them and know who they are. But Justin was talking on his video a while back about how essentially you're a poser if you don't know who this band is, and you'll act like you know who this band is because you randomly saw them at a festival or something, but really didn't know who they were. I mean, obviously the poser stuff, whatever, but I think, like, again, yeah, this has been a pretty underrated band. Like, if you're in the scene, you're in the scene, like, you know who this band is and you collect the records and stuff like that. But from like a person who's not so invested into thrash metal or metal as a whole, you probably have no clue who Demolition Hammer was, or like was fairly new to them or whatever else. I agree a lot with what he was saying in regards to that. To me, fairly underrated band. However, I feel like now this is the most I've ever seen anybody talk about them, because I feel like these reissues kind of built the resurgence and a couple of other things too. They're around and they're doing shows and stuff like that. So yeah, so here's the jacket. and then the printed inner sheet, which is pretty true to the original. There you go. Pretty close anyway. And these are nothing special. I mean, nothing special about the jacket. They're pretty standard. Just, your standard cardboard jacket, no embossing, no nothing like that. So I love that. I love that album artwork. And then, of course, these are colored. For where I got it from, I didn't have the option to pick black. I think that these were issued on black. Actually, I have my notes up right here. Let's see. No. Okay, so they only reissued these on 2 different colors. Interesting. I would for sure think that they would have pressed a black copy. But this one is the blue one. It was limited to, it doesn't say. It just says limited edition transparent blue. This color should have went with the other one I'm about to show you. I feel like they swapped these colors. Whatever. So there you go. Cool stickers. But the other one that that I'm about to show is my favorite one. This is like top 10 album for me. I've talked about it several times on here in the past. Desert Island stuff, and that is, Epidemic of Violence. Man, I fucking love this album so much. This is admittedly the first time I ever heard them. I had a 2011 reissue of this, which is pretty much like the second pressing. Sold that for a pretty good penny as well. I always told myself I would never sell that album, but again, they reissued these, and that made it a little bit easier for myself to do. So yeah, this one is on a yellow vinyl, which I feel like should have went with Tortured Existence, and then the blue one should have went with this one, but whatever. So there you go. The iconic album artwork, as you guys know, is the continuation of Cause of Death from Obituary. If you don't know that story, go back and read about it. Man, I need to wake up. I am tired. Holy shit. I'm groggy. Feeling groggy. God damn, I love this album so much. And then here's the record. So yeah, this one, I don't know. I feel like they swapped the colors of this. Cool stickers. Again, it should have went with this one. It would have looked so much better with that one, but I don't know. Whatever. It's not a big deal. It really is not. But I just thought that when I first got this, I thought that immediately. It was like, those don't go together. So yeah, those are the 3 records that I got. The 3 thrash classics that I knew that I was always going to get back regardless. Again, if you have a copy of the New Order from Testament, the new reissue, or if you know of somewhere that has it, I mean, I've checked several things. I haven't been able to find it, but they're Nuclear Blast reissues, and those tend to stay around for a little while and are relatively easy to find. But this one, I just can't find it. Like right now, let's see here. I have Discogs open, so let's just see. Because Discogs is not just private sellers, it is also record stores. A lot of times, and that's generally who I buy from on Discogs. I know stores all over the country, and I have them saved, so I generally go there like Vinyl Altar, Red Scroll, CD Warehouse from Arlington, Texas, Indie Vinyl CD from Indianapolis. I just have a ton of record stores that I check all throughout the country on Discogs. Okay, so I have it open, United States vinyl. Let's see here. Yeah, there's none. So far it hasn't put up. The cheapest one is $75 from somebody who I'm not familiar with, and they have okay rating. Pretty good rating. It says it has scuffs on the records. Jesus Christ. Oh, is this this is the first pressing. That's why. Okay, so the reissues aren't even on Discogs. Again, they're sort of sold out everywhere. I don't know. I have no idea. I'm striking out on where to find them. I might have to settle and looking in the Euro area some distros on the European side and just bite the bullet and pay the shipping costs or bundle it with the package to make it worth it. But for now, I haven't been able to find it. Again, usually like nuclear blast ratios are pretty easy to find on like Amazon, and then the major like record label store distros or whatever across the board, or they're just on the website, but I can't find it. So I've gone off on a tangent. That is all I have, you guys, today. This Friday, I will be streaming on Heavy Metallurgy with Simon from Explosive Action, and then obviously Marty and Alan. We're going to be talking about our favorite albums that have come out so far this year, since, you know, we're halfway through the year already. So we did this stream last year too. It was a lot of fun, and my top changed quite a bit by the end of the year. So it was fun to see that. I have about 30 records picked out. A lot of phenomenal releases have come out this year. I think we're ranking them, which has been really tough because I have like 3 that are my favorite, and I can't decide between them yet. So yeah, check that out. I'll post the links and stuff like that once I get it all situated and sent over. All right. I will see you guys in the next one.